There are few things money can buy that don't bear the Made in Taiwan label. Unlike her Asian neighbors, who have weaved and pitched in stormy economic seas, Taiwan's wealth has grown steadily. But while the capital city of Taipei is a bastion of modernization and manufacturing, its resources don't stop there. Taiwan is first and foremost an island of stunning beauty. Limestone formations create natural sculptures in the sand, and rare birds whistle in dense forest. She's Asia's best-kept secret. Aptly named Ilha Formosa, or Beautiful Island by the Portuguese, her natural landscape reveals that not everything beautiful in Taiwan is man-made. Taiwan is home to Mount Yushan, at 3,997 meters, the tallest mountain in East Asia, and countless mist-covered ridges gently sprinkled with colorful flowers. Taiwan's people are as diverse as its landscape. Aboriginals, Hakkas, and mainland Chinese peacefully exist here, sharing an independent Asian spirit born of hard work and tradition. It's 8:30 a.m. in Fuxing, Taiwan, a small mountain village 2 hours southwest of Taipei. Villagers here have been up for hours, tending their small plots of homegrown vegetables. Many have heard rumors that an international race is about to begin in the heart of a local farmer's peach field.
Hello, everybody! It's 25th of March. We're ready to go for Action Asian Challenge. 加加加加！谢谢，辛苦你们了。
Number one, baby. Hong Kong, number one.
Good. A little bit nervous though. You know, these guys want to do really, really well, but I'm not sure if I can keep up with them, so we'll see.
These 237 revved-up athletes make up the 79 teams competing in Asia's one and only adventure racing series, organized by Action Asia magazine and the National Geographic Channel. The race is set in the beautiful mountains of Taiwan, and teams have come from all over Asia for the competition, camaraderie, and to experience what organizers say is the best course yet. But they differ on what part of the course they expect to be the most challenging.
All right, ready to go.
Team Endorphin Junkies is made up of 3 airline pilots from Singapore. This will be their first adventure race.
Our strategy is to walk all the uphills and run everything else. Then it's going to be a lot of pain for us.
Taiwan number one. Taiwan 探险队.
Team Taiwan Expedition is a local favorite. They've trekked these hills before, and despite not finishing the last race in Hong Kong, they feel confident they'll succeed on their home turf.
这次比赛我们有更充足的准备时间，我们大概花了
This time we came prepared.
准备。那我们的体力上
We trained for 2 months, so we shall have the stamina needed.
那至于说多好的名次，
And this time we are determined to finish the race.
Another Taiwan team is Kun Yuan. With a combined age of 131, they're all very serious about winning this year's Masters category. It's a day Taiwan has been waiting for and training for. Even Taipei's mayor, Ma Ying-jeou, has elected to join in on the fun. This challenge will offer competitors the ultimate in adventure.
Actually, it was our first time organizing a race in Taiwan, so it was a big, pleasant surprise for us to find the variety and the potential here.
Challenge organizers hint that this race may also prove to be the toughest yet.
Technically, this is the most challenging race, technical skills-wise. There's a lot of rigging involved, so we've really spent quite a lot of time doing rigging ropes, pairing the ropes, rigging and making cargo nets, all sorts of things like that.
As in every challenge, parts of the course are kept secret, but racers know helmets and harnesses are mandatory in certain sections.
Your legs? Especially my legs. Yeah.
We are Team Fear!
Steve Corbin and Team Fear 1 have competed in 3 challenges.
We got the email for this event that basically said, you know, this event is tough. When I showed this to Jason, he said, yeah, bring it on! And I think that's probably the opinion of all of us.
The course will take competitors through this island's most spectacular and treacherous terrain, including bamboo jungles, soaring waterfalls, tumbling rapids, and possible encounters with some not-so-friendly creatures.
Snakes? I'm not too scared of snakes, I'm just scared of being bitten by them.
Team Asia Non-Stop is clearly the team to beat. They've raced in 3 challenges together, coming first in the men's category in every race, but they never take anything for granted.
The local competition is always scary. We don't know what to expect. Sometimes you'll get into situations where really you get good local teams, and Taiwan, I do expect that.
The 22-kilometer race course will take teams through a bamboo ridge scramble, followed by a steep descent into the canyoneering section. Racers will then have to abseil of a 43-meter suspension bridge, followed by a 25-meter waterfall climb. Next, teams will kayak up the river to the final stretch, where they'll do Aboriginal-style archery before crossing the finish line. Only 5 minutes until the race begins, a race that will take most racers at least 4 hours to complete. While the adrenaline begins pumping, competitors are treated to a special Aboriginal dance, typical of the Taiya tribe that inhabits the Taoyuan region. The dancers recreate the legend of 2 flaming suns in the sky, capturing one with bows and arrows and bringing it back to the village for good luck. But sun or no sun, an island proverb warns that Taiwan's weather is like the mood of a woman. In other words, subject to sudden change. From the clouds in the sky, it looks like today may be no different. In the tradition of true Taiwanese hospitality, the country's Vice President, Annette Lu, officiates the start of the National Geographic Channel Action Asia Challenge Taiwan. Like soldiers in formation, racers run down the first slope slick with damp leaves. Soon the teams to beat will separate themselves from the pack.
I think definitely one of the highlights of the first section of the course is tight, narrow bamboo downhill section where competitors, especially the lead teams, are just going to be flying down.
The hill was really steep. We got lost at one point going up there. We went off the trail, we went down a really steep, slippery slope, which we then had to clamber back up, get back onto the trail, go along through the bamboo, and it was easy to slide down the hill and crash into the stands of bamboo.
For lead competitors, the steep 7-kilometer climb and slippery descent ends at just under an hour. After that, they reach their first checkpoint. Up ahead, teams will discover the first reason for their helmets and harnesses. A 38-meter descent down the face of a waterfall. Race organizers spent days rigging nearly 3 kilometers of rope in the canyoneering section of the race to assure competitors' ultimate safety.
Between checkpoint 1 and checkpoint 2, there's the lower gully, which is a canyon, and it comes and sweeps down all the way down to the river. People going down there at high speed, you know, it might be quite difficult. So I think the last count, we had about 26 people in this section.
Kwok La Min Chin of Team Kun Yuan is the first team sighted in the canyon. But instead of going over the cargo net, they take a wayward trail around it.
The first 3 teams may be disqualified. Team 213 and another team. Be interesting to see what happens with this. Barry, we just saw a team come down here without going through the gate. You know what the rules are on that?
We'll find out soon.
What are you going to do with this?
Air Macau makes the same mistake.
Nobody told me to go to any checkpoint. There's a checkpoint there.
Followed by defending champions Team Asia Non-Stop.
It's a joke or what? Did you guys come down the cargo? No, I don't know. I'm just waiting to
The team captain, Pedro Pinto, tells his team to move on.
Good luck.
Philippe of Asia Non-Stop makes his team run back and climb over the net to avoid a possible time penalty.
We had a very hard decision to make. What do we do? You know, So we decided to be sportsmanlike and try to, do the ethical thing. We bit the bullet real hard and said, okay, let's just go back.
The problem turns out to be a few old trail marking ribbons left behind by local hikers that led teams astray. Race officials quickly remedy the problem and place an additional marshal to direct teams toward the net. At the cargo net, experienced teams can elect a free climb. Those with less experience can request a safety line or belay.
What do you want me to do?
Hey guys, do you want a free climb this or do you want a safety line?
Free climb. Free climb.
Okay, unclip from your black line.
Team Fear One's Steve Corbin is an experienced climber, as are his teammates.
I was in the Air Training Corps. My speciality was adventure training, so I was always taking groups abseiling, rock climbing, out canoeing, sort of camping, hiking up in the steep hills. So I love being up on the tops of the hills. For me, it's just a great experience.
Schindler's Lift is the first women's team to reach the net. They forego the safety line to keep up the pace. At Exit Falls and the end of the canyoneering section, teams climb over a second cargo net into a small pool. But that's not the last of the water they'll see. Somwang and his team Ironman have finished first place in their native homeland Thailand and won the Masters category in the last two challenges.
I am a team leader of Ironman, joining Action Asia Challenge event. I never thought the first race course held in Kanchanaburi would be successful. For the second course in Hong Kong, we have also won the master team. All of the mentioned success brings us here in Taiwan. In fact, I think it's an addiction, a good one.
Up next, a surprise swim in a tumbling rapid. The canyoneering section has left teams with weak knees, but they'll need strong guts to take on these rapids at the river crossing.
Really, the biggest concern there is people being tired and jumping in and just getting swept downstream. So we've got quite a lot of people who are lifesavers, whitewater specialists to look after that area.
The first team to reach the rapids is Team Kun Yuan. But whether they're missing the cargo net cost them the race at this point can only be speculation. Right now, they're about 10 minutes ahead of Masters team Ironman, who they're aiming to beat in this year's race. Crossing a Class 3 rapid is easier said than done. Teams have to jump in as far from the rocks as possible to give themselves a head start against the tumultuous current.
I think some competitors will probably get sucked down and held under for a few seconds. Others are going to get chewed up and spit out like they've been in a washing machine. I look forward to seeing how competitors are going to react as well when you see this raging whitewater in front of them and there's nowhere to go except straight across.
Chan Yuen Lee and her team, Toyota 2020 from Malaysia, are world-class adventure athletes who previously raced in the Eco Challenge. Serious about doing well in this race, they still take time to smell the flowers, even in the face of danger.
We're just going to want to enjoy ourselves, have a look at this beautiful countryside, which is fantastic, finish the race, and have a good time.
With so many adventure races under their belt, Team Toyota 2020 knows the importance of teamwork.
Team cooperation is important and good. We also feel like family. I have known Yun Lee for 5 years. She's shown me a lot, shared experiences with me, and generally corrupted me with the whole adventure race idea.
What you want to do is, my suggestion, farthest out and as high up and head first if you can. Okay, go.
For less experienced teams, who are facing the rapids for the first time, this was a little more than they bargained for. Up next, a special test dealing with some of Taiwan's most dangerous native reptiles. The snake test requires competitors to correctly identify 3 of the 12 Taiwanese poisonous snakes introduced in the pre-race briefing. Not knowing these vipers could cost them a deadly bite or 20 push-ups.
Bamboo viper. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
The photos make identification easier, but communicating the punishment proves difficult for the race marshals.
All together.
All together. How much?
20.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Go.
After 3 tries, Team Ironman finally passes the snake test. Snakes have a nasty reputation. In East Asia, they symbolize a malevolent and cunning enemy. In the West, the slithering source of original sin. For most people, just the thought that a snake could be lurking in the brush sends chills down their spine.
Very well.
Race Technical Director Stuart Sharpless spoke to a curator of the Taipei Zoo to find out more about the type of snakes competitors could encounter in the race.
So what are the chances of one of the competitors running through the race and seeing one of these types of snakes?
Maybe very high.
I'm noticing on this snake it's got almost like 2 holes just in front of the eye there. Is there some sort of sensor or something that the snake has?
Yeah, sensitive for heat.
That's what it would use to hunt, yeah?
Yeah.
It's called the bamboo viper, the most common venomous snake in Taiwan. It's identified by a triangular-shaped head and a brown-colored tail. Ling says most snakes with triangular heads are poisonous, but not all.
In Taiwan, there's a species of poisonous viper that have oval heads. It is what we call the Umbrella Festival, but it is one of the most lethal snakes in Taiwan.
It's also known as the banded crate, lethal but not aggressive. Another snake that racers have to identify is called the sharp-nosed viper. Today, it's an endangered species due to the destruction of its natural habitat from excess use of pesticides by commercial farms. Its venom is highly poisonous, but also very useful.
Wow. These fangs are huge.
Yes,
I mean, they're much bigger than the other ones. Look at those.
Poisonous snakes are divided into 2 types. One is lethal due to the effect of the venom on the nervous system. This type is very often used for medical purposes. The other type increases blood circulation and is used as a treatment for stroke and blood clots.
If left alone, most poisonous snakes go about their business.
When the contestants encounter snakes on the way, they shouldn't disturb them. They should instead pass by peacefully.
Racers are briefed before the race on handling a bite from one of these vipers.
If somebody does get bitten by a snake, the worst thing that you can do is start running around and trying to get somewhere. Just sit down, one person stays with that person, and the other person gets a marshal, they'll radio to them, get help, and we'll get you out of there.
It's important for them to know which type of snake bit them, so race safety personnel can provide the right antidote. As competitors leave the snake test field, they'll reach a fork in the road and be faced with a daring decision. One member has to abseil off a 43-meter suspension bridge, while the other 2 will hike a riverside trail to meet their teammate at water's edge.
He's stuck.
Hey there!
He doesn't know what to do.
After a slow start, Team Kun Yuan makes the first splash. Air Macau's Pedro Pinto follows close behind.
Okay. Go down. Go. Yeah. Can you pull yourself there and lock it?
Okay, you're going to be on an abseil, which is going to end about 10 meters above the water.
Okay.
We have you on a safety line, which is the colored line.
Yeah.
Your abseil line is the black line.
Yeah. Okay, go.
Okay. Go.
What a treat! I guess my strength is that I try and bring a bit of humour to the group and a sense of adventure and fun.
Okay, go, go, go. Give me some slack.
Although these athletes have chosen to take on the abseil, the look down makes some question their decision.
This is absolutely terrifying.
You ever done anything like this before?
I've abseiled once, but it was against a bridge, and for some reason, when your legs are dangling over, it's a lot more scary than if you've got a wall even.
Close your legs, son, you're on TV. Okay. Come on, Simon. For some reason, when you've got something to put your feet against, it's slightly less scary for some reason. But there it was. It's great, brilliant.
We're in section C, which is about midway through the race, and the racers should be pretty darn tired by now. And what they're doing is they're coming along. They've come out of the gully, they've crossed the river, and one of their team members is abseiling off this bridge into the water and swimming to the bank. We've had probably about 35, 40 people go through so far.
然后你只要松这个地方，手只要松开，绳子就可以下去了。我已经50岁，我已经60岁了。我这边把你控制住。
The only real danger in abseiling is not getting proper instruction. Stuart Sharpless demonstrates what competitors learn in their pre-race training.
This is the abseil bridge, one of the most spectacular parts of the course, and probably one of the most difficult for competitors. Competitors are going to come down this bridge and clip into two lines. I'm going to clip it into my harness and into this carabiner. I'm going to clip it in and I'm going to screw up the gate like that. That's the safety line, controlled by the marshal. The second line is this white line, and this is the abseil line. Now, safety is of paramount importance. On race day, there's going to be people and marshals here who are going to be actually taking care of each individual's safety, checking carabiners are screwed up and checking your safety on your way down. You'll notice that my right hand is actually gripping onto this rope. If I tuck it behind my bum, then I'm actually going to stop. If I'm moving out to the side and let the rope slide through this device, I'm going to move down. So that's my right hand. My left hand, I can put it above the device and use it to stabilize myself. This is a free abseil. It's not like on a mountain where you've got a rock face. So I'm going to lower myself lower than my feet, and then I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to slowly try and sit back, like so.
好，再放。有问题。来，没关系，我想你右手放下，我慢慢把你垂下去。My God, my God！ 加油！
The abseil line ends 7 meters above the water. Team members must unclip the rope and take the plunge.
Ouch!
That hurt when I hit that water. Boy, did that hurt. It smacked. They said I'd bounce. It wasn't a bounce.
Tommy had to jump in the water. We'll let Chong do it.
First-timers Team Endorphin Junkies size up their competition and make a plan.
Last year's champions, the Thai Ironman team, and they look really strong. If we're up against people like that, we'll be finishing somewhere towards the end.
Oh, it's very difficult.
Look at the bruises.
But we're suckers for pain. Endorphin junkies.
I think the only weakness I can perceive at this point would be trying to make the cutoff times. I think finishing the race is not a problem, it's just trying to make the cutoff times.
But making it to the cutoffs is not on every racer's mind.
Okay, guys. Just wait here a second.
Okay.
On average, only 70% of challenge teams finish the race. Most competitors don't imagine a walk in the park, but many don't expect to need the kind of physical stamina required to finish. This race is no different. Almost 5 hours into the race, the second cutoff is announced back at the entry to the snake test.
This is the cut-off point, and you've not actually made the cut-off time.
Okay, let us go. I mean, we have come all the way.
I always hate doing the cut-offs. Makes me feel really bad because these guys have put lots of training in and stuff, but it has to be done for safety. You've not made this cut-off.
Backlog at the spelunking deal.
At the
little rope ladder. There was about 30 to 40 minute queue. Rope ladder, we had a half-hour wait.
But due to backups in the gully, race officials decide to let the first few teams continue.
Okay. I'm going to allow you to continue.
Excellent.
All right, I'm going to allow you to continue, but you can't do the abseil.
All right.
And you're going to, and you've got to go some to meet the next cut-off. If you don't meet the next cut-off, then that's it. All right.
Understood.
Okay. Right. Away you go.
Thank you.
Straight down that track.
All right. Thanks. Cheers.
You're going. You're missing the abseil. You've got to make the next cut-off. Go. All right.
That includes Stuart. Over.
Yeah. Somalia, I've just cut the first team, and there's nobody else actually going to be going up to the abseil bridge to do the abseil, so you can start de-rigging.
The Eco Challenge veteran Mohammed Puzi of Toyota 2020 arrives at the abseil just before the cutoff. His team lost time helping out a racer in trouble in the bamboo downhill.
By the time I came along, he was like lying down, pretty much hyperventilating, blew in the lips and stuff. So everyone was going past, and then I walked past him, and then I was like, oh no, this guy needs help. Keep your chest and head up. Turned around, stopped him, and then got the guy to start breathing up again and doused him. I think I was stopped there for at least a good 20 minutes to half an hour, waiting for the marshals.
The racer was evacuated safely from the course, and his teammates continued. It's a lesson in sportsmanship every athlete could learn from. As the day progresses and foreboding clouds loom overhead, race organizers need to get their personnel and less experienced teams off the course safely. Team Taiwan Expedition is happy to have made every cutoff so far.
You got a little bit problem. Some bronze. A little problem.
Even though Daniel Xia is suffering the same leg cramps that plagued him in the last challenge.
A little.
Is it better now?
I think I can continue cover there.
Racers who've made it to this point have now completed more than half the course. The lead teams will need all the energy they can muster to conquer the next leg, a 24-meter waterfall climb. Race organizers decided to impose a 10-minute penalty on teams that missed the cargo net in the canyoneering section. Despite this, Team Air Macau managed to creep into second place, behind Team Kun Yuan. In the Hong Kong Challenge, Pedro Pinto raced with Chiaki Fieldal in team finally, making them one of the top mixed team competitors.
I lost my balance several times. I reversed myself, hit the rock, reversed again, yeah. I'm up here, finally, safe and sound.
Pedro's teammate, Daniel Brown, hasn't lost his sense of humor.
Fred, you forgot the piano, mate. Down you go. I thought it'd be at least 100 metres high, maybe overhanging a bit. And I thought we were going to free climb it. Well, where's the free climb? Well, I thought this was supposed to be an adventure race. What's going on here? No, it's good. This is definitely an adventure.
Team Kun Yuan are just minutes in front of Air Macau. Luckily for this native team, top-notch training is available in their backyard. There are plenty of peaks to scale here in Taiwan.
One thing that I think people will be very surprised about is that Taiwan is full of mountains. It's phenomenal. You have something like 50 or more mountains over 9,000 feet.
You could say climbing is in Taiwan's blood. Every year, on the 7th month of the lunar calendar, on the last day and the last hour, the bold and adventurous make a daring sacrificial climb. It's called Chiangku, part of the Hungry Ghost Festival, when spirits are delivered from unrest through delicious gifts of dumplings and succulent meat. But unlike most offerings, these sit atop 30-meter spires. During the breathtaking ritual, contestants climb the spindly bamboo poles without ropes to grab the tender morsels above. But the spectacle doesn't just look dangerous. Injuries and deaths caused by falls forced the competition to be banned for over 40 years. Recently, the event resumed when safety nets were implemented to protect the devout daredevils. At this point in the race, competitors' muscles are taxed to near exhaustion. Their will to go on tested to the limit. Experienced or not, teams at the waterfall ledge climb are connected to a mandatory safety line should they fall.
Good job, Chris.
Hong Kong's winners, Asia Nonstop, closed the gap to a mere 5 minutes behind Air Macau and Team Kun Yuan.
Very tiring. We've done a lot now. This timing takes a lot of energy out of you, so I have to drink.
Hey, how are you feeling? Feeling strong?
Not really.
Leading the open women's category, Schindler's Lift.
Get rid of this one. Wobbly, wasn't it? Did you nearly fall off? You need power. Danger zone. Yeah.
For Kenneth and his rookie team, Endorphin Junkies, the climbing is a tough but welcome surprise.
It's everything I expected and more, but in reality it's a lot more real. The suffering. Yeah. The scenery is awesome. Awesome race. Well worth the trip. Coming all the way out here from Singapore.
All right, Lisa. That was a hard one to go up. That was hard. It was hard.
Okay, go.
Some teams take a rest after the climb.
We're not resting here. We're strategizing. Yeah?
Try to stay cool. I'm drinking out of the river water right now. I just filled this up. Try to stay cool. Just keep going.
After the waterfall ledge climb, teams get to cool off even more. Racers must slosh their way through a magnificent ravine at the bottom of a 25-meter waterfall.
Frontier in Taiwan, but very hard work.
Then face another river crossing before the kayak pickup. In less than 3 hours, the lead teams finally make it to the kayaking section, where an unexpected surprise awaits them.
This will be interesting, definitely from this vantage point here, because right after they cross the river, it's immediately into the kayak transition, which is behind me, and then, 10 seconds into the kayak section is the largest rapid on the whole course. It's going to be full of drama. You better not leave.
At the rapids, Air Macau managed to overtake Taiwan's Team Kun Yuan, who up until this point have held the lead in the race.
It was right at the start of the kayaks when we caught the leading team. We caught them before, and then we raced as two teams, 6 people, helping each other in a way. And then by the kayaks, we left them behind, and we never saw them again.
I think the most difficult part of the course was the kayaks. I prefer the running section because the skills involved in kayaking are not what I'm used to.
We haven't had white water in a challenge yet. We've had moving water in Thailand, but we haven't had white water. So I'm really concerned about how teams are going to fare on this.
Team Asia Nonstop takes a spill.
We had a puncture also with one of our kayaks. So we had to paddle for like 20 minutes with a punctured kayak. It's not easy.
No. We went overboard.
Overboard a few times.
Now this is pretty good. He's getting a good line. He's keeping the boat straight. Nice. Yeah, that was good. That's the difficult bit, really, is keeping that boat straight. In rapids like this, the water just pushes your boat quite a lot.
Other teams aren't so lucky.
Guys that were just talking around, they came beautiful through the rapid, but they got to the flat water and they flipped over, so anyway, so that was quite funny.
Team Endorphin Junkies breezed through the rapids.
We just come off a kayak course in New Zealand, so we thought we would make up some time. We did pretty good, actually. Well, part of it was fun. It's a little bit of white water. Class 1.5 type rapids.
Oh, we're nearly there.
At the kayak exit, just when competitors think they've reached dry land, A downpour adds to what's already been a waterlogged day. It gets harder and harder to push on. At the kayak entry, teams scramble to make the third cutoff. Team Taiwan Expedition's Daniel Xia's leg cramps worsened, and as a result, he and his teammates don't make the last cutoff. Just as other teams behind them are crossing the river, they also hear the disappointing news.
Okay, guys, I'm really sorry about this, but this is the cutoff, and you've not made the cutoff time.
Many are crushed.
Many teams were cut off. Of course, they are very disappointed, but for us, as organizers, the cutoffs are essential, and we hope that they've learned something. These are oftentimes the first competitors to sign up again for next year's event.
3.5 hours into the race, the lead teams finally make it out of the kayaking section and head towards the last special test.
We are Team Fear! Fear! Yeah!
Aboriginal archery and spear throwing.
Right guys, to me together in front of position 1. To your front there's a pig. You've got to kill the pig. You've got 2 spears and 3 arrows. First man throws the spears. If he hits, you can leave immediately. If he doesn't, you've got to fire the arrows. If you don't hit with the arrows, 20 press-ups from the last man. Come on, who wants to throw the spears? I'll go last. Other 2 step away, let him throw the spears. Pig to your front, go.
Anything on that?
Anything on it. Again.
Competitors will have to either get 1 spear or 1 bow and arrow in the target, and then they can move on. If they miss all 3, then it's a penalty of 20 push-ups. It's actually not that difficult if you're fresh, but after 4, 5, or 6 hours into a race, I think it's not going to be as easy as it seems.
It may be easier for Akai Chung's Ame tribal ancestors from eastern Taiwan. Akai fashioned all the spears and bows for the race himself from bamboo.
Since I was a kid, I saw people use bows and arrow to hunt, though I did not use them myself. I had images of bows from my childhood, and through self-learning, succeeded in making them.
Akai's tribe, the Ame, are the most numerous of the 9 Aboriginal tribes in Taiwan. Over 130,000 strong, they still live in the eastern hillsides of Hualien County. Every year in July, the Ame celebrate the Harvest Festival, a 5-day event when many of the younger tribespeople return to their villages to embrace their tribal roots. The ceremony dates from the time when the Ame and their fellow Aboriginals were the only people living on the island of Taiwan. Most likely, some 400 years before the first influx of immigrants washed over the island. Today, Aboriginals make up only 2% of the population. Many Aboriginal tribes are striving to preserve their culture, but it's not easy. Jiang Hua-chen, the leader of the Ame village of Qingpu, believes the Harvest Festival is one of the best ways for ancient customs to live on.
We feel the way our culture was from the beginning is still the most beautiful. And the only way we can preserve it is to keep the group bonding strong at the Harvest Festival.
In the face of numerous outside influences, it's getting harder to keep ancient traditions alive. Some Ame now earn money by selling traditional garments and goods to tourists. And younger Ame have been migrating out of the villages to find work. So while villagers benefit from the money sent back, there's also a downside.
Because of the massive migration, the traditional village cannot easily maintain their traditions. Especially the Ame tribe is well known for collectivism.
But many are making a promising effort to hold on to their precious traditions. A week before the challenge in Fuxing, Akai celebrated his engagement to a woman from the Taiya tribe, a tribe native to Fuxing. The Taiya are best known for their ancient headhunting rituals and distinctive facial tattoos.
The tattoo is symbolic and important to Taiyo tribes. The girl's tattoos show that she is good at household chores. And the boy's tattoos would mean that he's good at hunting, weeding, and similar chores.
But these days, says Akai's fiancée, Lee Siu-mei, the Taiya tribe are celebrated as talented hunters and creative textile designers. Lee Siu-mei wears a wedding dress she fashioned herself. She and her fiancé Akai insisted on a traditional engagement ceremony as an extension of their work to preserve their cultural heritage.
This type of ceremony had been lost for over 50 years. I felt quite sad about it because for me, it is very important to preserve my culture. That's why we reenact this ceremony today, not only to preserve it, but to state our point of view.
The Aboriginal Taiwan poet Mona Neng wrote, "With tender care, let us set in motion our blood that is once again warm. Let us recall our songs, our dances, our sacred rituals, and the unselfish mutual coexistence between us and Mother Nature." With any luck, she'll be kind to the racers and hold back the rain that threatens to slow them down on the last sections. Many of the lead teams are leaving the archery. Others are still struggling in the kayak section after losing their paddles in the rapids. Meanwhile, this racer waits with disappointment after losing more than just his paddle on the river.
I can't see them. They're probably waiting for another boat, maybe. If they survive the drowning, I'm going to kill them when they get here, so it doesn't make a difference to them, does it?
As the rain begins to pour, teams who manage to stay together are determined to keep their spirits up. Teamwork helps racers like Toyota 2020 keep up the pace in the final stretch. They arrive at the archery section relieved to have made it this far, especially since they came close to being cut off at the kayak entry. Well ahead of them, though, the lead teams are already running down Fuxing's main street where the end is near. 4 hours and 17 seconds into the race, the first team to cross the finish line is Air Macau. Also not entirely unexpected, challenge champions Asia Non-Stop arrive on Team Air Macau's heels. Because of the mix-up at the canyoneering section, 10 minutes time is added to teams like Air Macau that missed the cargo net, and first place is awarded to both Asia Non-Stop and Air Macau.
We did a very good job in continuing the race, and we worked very hard together to get back to the leading team.
Taiwan's own Kun Yuan wins the Masters Trophy, crossing the finish just in front of Team Ironman. Team Endeavour comes in at 4 hours and 28 minutes, winning the mixed team category, while Schindler's Lift takes the Open Women's Trophy. An hour and a half later, the first university team crosses the finish line. Another victory for Taiwan. Team Toyota 2020 finishes the race in less than 7 hours, followed by a worn-out but happy endorphin junkies who finished their first challenge successfully.
We've done a few tries together, but yeah, nothing compared to this.
Take my helmet up to the race director and the course that these guys have laid out. It's just awesome.
This race, organized by the National Geographic Channel and Action Asia magazine, will surely be remembered as one of the most difficult for competitors.
We have just finished the National Geographic Action Asia Challenge in Taiwan! Yeah!
For the teams that made it to the finish line, and even for those who didn't, it's been a great opportunity to test their physical and mental limits and experience the natural beauty of Taiwan firsthand. The National Geographic Channel Action Asia Challenge. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things.